Breaking the Silence is a podcast that dives into the intricate and often challenging topics of grief and loss within relationships. Through insightful discussions, the podcast aims to explore how pain can be transformed into purpose, leading to healing and growth. By addressing themes such as inner child work and the journey towards feeling alive once more, this podcast offers a beacon of hope for those navigating difficult emotions. Ultimately, Breaking the Silence aims to guide listeners towards moving forward and embracing all the blessings that life has in store as they embark on a journey of self-discovery and spiritual fulfillment. I'm your guide through this journey, Renee Wallace, and I invite you to join me as we break the silence surrounding grief and loss, transforming pain into purpose and finding hope in the healing power of storytelling. Hello, my beautiful friends. I am so happy that you're here with me. This is Breaking the Silence with Renee Wallace. And I just wanted to share with you just vulnerability here. Like, first of all, I'm baby stepping myself into this because it is hard to be vulnerable, right? Like when you open yourself up like this, there is the risk of criticism or rejection or people's opinions or what you think, what you perceive or think, how people are going to judge you or what they're going to say, right? And so I'm going to be super truthful, and that's why I want to record this right now. When the pre-launch went out, there was absolutely this very real part of me, and this is being so transparent in my struggles of who I am and the wounds that I am choosing to heal to be a different person. I very much wanted to totally hide away, shut down, not turn on social media, just pretend like the world didn't exist, right? Just avoid at all costs. Because again, for all the reasons I already stated. And I want to share with you what I did in those moments that then I'm hoping will help you if you are a person that gets overwhelmed and all the thoughts of what did I just do? Whatever. This is too much for me. I can never do this. Whatever you're telling yourself. First, acknowledge it. Self-awareness is the very first step in anything. So, being able to look at ourselves, and yes, that is hard and it can be painful sometimes, especially if it's with things that maybe we wish we didn't handle things the way we did or say the things we said or whatever it is. It's hard, but we have to if we want anything to be different. Otherwise, we stay in the exact same place, right? And the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Until we do something different, it's going to be the same. It's the same cycles over and over, and we're stuck. We're stuck in a pattern. We're stuck in our behaviors. We're stuck in whatever. So this is the whole reason of me sharing this. So I could acknowledge all right, Renee, listen, you are just overwhelmed right now. You're freaking out. It is okay. Take some time to process. It also, of course, launched on the day of Brian's anniversary, which of course brings emotions even with that, right? So yes, there was the excitement and the reframing, like I said, February 21st, but there still is the reality that February 21st is the day that my baby left my arms and went to Jesus's arms, went home to be with Jesus, you know? So that will forever, of course, be that way. And it will always, those memories or things are not going to disappear, right? So there is the emotions of that day, of course. And so I allowed myself, okay, take some time to process. Take some time to allow yourself to feel the feelings, sit with it. And that is something I want to talk about real quick, because a lot of times people say, sit with your emotions. And maybe you don't know what that means. Maybe you have never let yourself feel your emotions. Maybe you were taught your whole life that it was wrong or bad or whatever to express your feelings, to express your emotions. Maybe you were told to suck it up, deal with it, quit your crying, whatever it is. Go to your room until you're done. I don't know what it was. But so for some people, they don't even know what that is to, quote, sit with your feelings. So sitting with your feelings is really just allowing yourself the time to feel whatever it is, whether it's through allowing the tears to fall, allowing yourself just to write out what you're thinking, what thoughts are coming to your head. And I know this sounds so weird, because even when I was learning some of these terms, like to say to drop into it, like you're like, what does drop into it mean? And it really is just allowing yourself to go to that inner place. And it might be so hard at first, especially if you have never allowed yourself to do it, if you've done anything to avoid feeling it, whether that's using substances, food, busyness, working, like keeping ourselves busy with work. A lot of times people use that. Anything that keeps our mind off, having to really stop and just allow ourselves to feel it. And I will be honest, like when I started doing this work years ago after Bryant died, and I'd say even 3 years ago, I had a therapist like asking me like to name what I was feeling. I had no idea how to put names of those feelings. Like, I could just lump it together. Like, what do you mean? Like, I'm sad. And he would say, no, there's more to it there than that. And it was hard. And I'm not even going to say now it is easy to always name the feelings, or even to name the times when I was shaming myself because I felt like I should have done this or I should have done that. And he would point out like, hey, like I hear a lot of shame there and a lot of like hopelessness. And again, that's that story of that I was stuck in this place. And so anyways, I'm getting a little off track in that, but my point is allowing yourself to sit in those emotions and just whatever comes up, even allowing, like I said, the tears to fall, to just journal whatever it is, that whatever comes to mind. There's no right or wrong in that. And I do want to share this with you, and we'll get into this more. I don't want to get too off topic. But in the moment, when you maybe act in a way that isn't your typical normal self, that you act so out of character or whatever, that is your inner child in those moments acting out, trying to protect you. It is not who God created you to be in being. It is your wounded inner child in us acting in human form and, that inner child. So it's basically whatever age, excuse me, your inner child was wounded. Say mine was 10 years old. When I get triggered and hijacked and I act out and afterwards I'm like, oh my gosh, like why did I even act like that? Like that is not me. That is not who I want to be. That is my wounded little 10-year-old little girl acting out and trying to make herself safe. And so those things that did keep us safe as a child, yes, they worked back then. They worked to protect us. They worked to do whatever we needed it to do in those moments, whether it was us being hyper vigilant to watch, to know when we needed to go to our room to be safe, or whatever it was. Those behaviors are not keeping us safe as adults. They are killing us. They are keeping us from thriving, healthy relationships. They are isolating us. They are sabotaging the good things that we could have in our life, all in the name of self-protection. So to sort of go back and sort of wrap this up with the thoughts of me wanting to shut down, I acknowledged, like, that right there was my little girl being scared, like feeling super vulnerable and like, whoa, this is not safe. Like, people are going to say whatever, or people are going to judge or whatever. And wanting to feel safe and like shut down, and knowing like within myself, I can keep myself protected, right? At least that's what my little girl is telling herself. And so I allow myself time to just feel those emotions, process them, and then said, I know enough now that those behaviors do not serve me well. They will keep me in that place. They will keep you in that place of being stuck forever and wondering why nothing is changing. And I knew, no, you feel this, and it's okay to be scared, but you're still going to move forward. You are not going to stay in this place anymore of playing small. So give yourself the space to process, to feel all those things. I allow myself that time. And then you get up and you move forward. And I went on about my day. I got up that day and, went on to, I had some appointments and things, and came home and recorded that night and moved forward. And so that is what I want from you when you walk away from these, from each episode. I want you to challenge yourself to move forward, even just 1%. Even if today, what it is for you is that you start to be self-aware, that you start to take the time to look within. And if you are always pointing outward, I hate to tell you this, and there's going to be some hard truths on here. But I speak these hard truths with so much love that I care enough to say the hard things that you have to hear, that I had to hear. If you are always pointing the fingers outward, if you are always blaming somebody else, if you are always complaining, you need to turn and look inward. As hard as that is to hear, it starts with you. You got one finger pointed out at someone else. There are 3 more pointed right back at yourself. So stop blaming and stop complaining and start looking within. Start saying, what is my role in this? And I know that is hard. I know it is. But that is the only way to change the cycles and break free from them. So I encourage you to do that this week, to just begin to start to reflect on yourself and say, what was my role in this? What part did I play? Until we talk next time. And otherwise, know that I send you off with so much love. And we'll talk again soon. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Breaking the Silence. As we conclude our time together, let us carry forward the stories we've heard, the emotions we've shared, and the connections we've forged. Remember, the journey through grief and loss is not one we walk alone. In the silence, we find solidarity. In our shared experiences, we find strength. And in our vulnerability, we find resilience. If you or someone you know is navigating the complexities of grief, know that there is support available. Reach out, lean on your community, and remember that healing is not linear. It's a journey. and you are not alone. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. And thank you for being a part of this community. Until next time, may you find peace in the spaces between the silence. Please be sure to subscribe below and leave us a review. If you'd like to connect further, you can find me on Instagram at Coaching with Renee.